Do Chinese cars actually last? Or is that just another internet myth? Because the reliability data I'm about to show you doesn't just challenge the Western narrative, it flips it completely. And the most surprising proof comes from a source you'd never expect. For years, people have said the same thing. Chinese cars are cheap, unreliable, disposable. But if that was ever true, it certainly isn't anymore. Today, we're going deep into long-term tests, battery degradation studies, taxi fleet mileage, and independent European reviews. Not opinions, not hype. Actual evidence. And trust me, some of it is shocking. And, by the way, if you appreciate clear, data-driven breakdowns like this, hit like now so YouTube knows this topic actually matters. And if you're new here, consider subscribing, because in about 60 seconds, I'm going to show you a reliability result from Germany that completely surprised even the reviewers. The truth is simple. Western media hasn't kept up. China is now the world's biggest EV exporter. Their battery tech leads the global market. And the reliability scores? They're not just competitive. They're beating long-established brands. This is the part most people never get to see. So let's fix that. In J.D. Power's 2024 Vehicle Dependability Study, one of the biggest reliability surveys anywhere, the top-ranked brands weren't Toyota, Honda, BMW, or Volkswagen. They were GAC Aeon, BYD, Geely, and Changan, all Chinese. Some of these models reported 30% to 35% fewer faults per 100 vehicles than their Western competitors. That alone should raise eyebrows. Now here's the part I mentioned earlier. The test that stunned reviewers. Autobild in Germany, famous for some of the harshest endurance testing on the planet, ran the MG4 through a full 100,000 kilometer torture test. The verdict? The MG4 finished with fewer ideas than multiple Volkswagens. Yes, a Chinese car outperformed Germany's own giants. In Germany. Then the BYD Han showed battery degradation of just 2 to 3% after years of use. Better than several Teslas tested under similar conditions. And if you think that's impressive, look at this. In Shenzhen, BYD E6 taxis routinely hit 500,000 to 1 million kilometers on their original batteries. That's commercial, punishing, stop-start, 24/7 use, and the batteries still hold over 70% health. Real-world reliability doesn't get more brutal than tax service, and they're surviving it. So, why is this happening? Why are all these cars lasting longer than people expect? For one simple reason. Chinese automakers leapfrogged the petrol era. They didn't convert old combustion platforms into EVs. They built EV native platforms from scratch. Blade batteries, LFP chemistry, simplified drivetrains, 800-volt architectures, and robust heat pumps, all of these reduce failure points dramatically. Most new car problems today aren't mechanical, they're software. Chinese brands push software updates every 2 to 4 weeks. Many Western brands update every 3 to 12 months. Fast updates means fast fixes, and far fewer long-term complaints. Then there's battery chemistry. LFP batteries, used heavily by Chinese automakers, degrade slowly, resist heat, survive fast charging, and are extremely stable. This is a cornerstone of long-term reliability. So why don't we hear about this? Well, negativity spreads faster. Chinese cars unreliable is an old story that gets clicks. Chinese cars outperform Western brands isn't as comfortable, and it challenges assumptions. But the numbers don't lie. Now, let's be completely fair. Chinese cars are not perfect. Far from it. There are still issues. Service networks in Europe are inconsistent. Parts can take time. Lane assist can be too aggressive. And some infotainment systems try to do way too much. These weaknesses are real, but solvable. But here's the key point. None of these issues undermine the core mechanical and battery reliability. And more importantly, these problems are declining year by year as Chinese brands expand globally. And here's the most important insight of this entire video. Chinese EVs are reliable not because they improved, but because they were designed from the beginning for the electric era. That's the structural advantage legacy manufacturers are struggling with. This isn't China catching up. This is China pulling ahead. So, do Chinese cars last? Yes, and the evidence is overwhelming. If you want more clear, honest breakdowns like this, tap like so this content reaches more people. And subscribe to China Revved if you want real data, not recycled stereotypes. What about you? Would you trust a Chinese car for 10 years? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experience.